Hey, good morning. Wanted to share some info on an experience I had yesterday. Went on a appointment that was referred to me by a lawyer here in town, and it was an interesting experience. Relatively large company, north of $6 million in revenues, and they had an interesting business and had about 40 minutes into the conversation about us and the normal Transworld story, they said, "Hey, I got to share something with you." I said, "Well, what's that?" I said, "Well, we've talked to another broker." It's okay. I would have expected nothing less, and competition's good. As those of you who listen to my podcast know, I'm a firm believer in competition. So I asked who it was. They said, they told me, and I said, "Well, yeah, they're good. They're very good at what they do. We're close friends. We talk all the time. I actually had lunch with the person just last week, and it was non-business related. So we get together, and we've known each other for better part of a decade." And I said, "Well, then why am I here?" And they said, "Well, the problem is that we haven't been able to get anything done with them." And I said, "Well, yeah, I get it. And you have to be careful never to bash competitors, but it's a point of differentiation between Transworld and other firms. This other firm is really good at what they do. I refer work to them, actually, and vice versa. But one of the major differentiators between a boutique firm, 1-man, 2-man, 3-man, versus our organization, which is large, is that in Main Street, you traditionally deal with one person. And there may be some back office to do some administrative stuff, but it's a far simpler transaction. It's more of a, hey, build the deck, put the marketing stuff out there on the websites, but that all takes time. So, it's nice to have that admin staff, but most boutique firms can't because they just don't do enough deal volume or have the dollars in ad spend and or cash flow to make a living, pay the rent, and staff up. Transworld, as big as we are, we have more resources. So the gentleman was articulating how for the better part of a year, he was not able to get any traction with, literally time to sit down with the broker in question to work through what he thought was some messy books and help him put them in order and get it prepared to sell. And so, fortunately, he had the books in front of him. It took me about 2 minutes to look at it and went, "These aren't that bad." So why was it so hard? Why was it so hard for these people to kind of spend time with us? And I said, it comes down to monetizing, paying their bills, and larger transactions take longer and cost more. And oftentimes, small boutique firms struggle because of the back office resources or incremental staff to manage a larger transaction. So, and there is where the difference lies. There are times when size matters. There are times when boutique is better. I think we do a really good job at Transworld at managing the two verticals and the two sectors. We have a team of guys who do the bigger stuff. We have guys who do both. I'm one of those guys who do both. But I've got support and staff, and my broker of record, Andy, throws those resources at me when needed. And I'm also not greedy about it. I'm able to just reach out and grab help when I need to, because taking care of the client's more important than taking care of my pocketbook. That will take care of itself over the duration of my professional career. So, make sure your brokers have the bandwidth to manage your transaction and all that goes with it. It is not simply throwing something on the internet. There is a ton of back office work and a method to the madness. And the larger the transaction becomes, the more administrative work needs to be done in terms of analysis, marketing, control of parties, controlling of relationships, managing the attorneys, the landlords, the employees that are key to the transaction. There's a ton of stuff. And when you're doing 5 little deals, you can't manage 5 big deals at the same time. And that, in essence, is what was causing the struggle for this boutique firm. So for your particular situation, if you want to talk about it, as always, 321-287-0349. Visit my website, www.yourfloridabusinessbroker.com, and I'll be talking to you soon.